we'll get into the Carmelo trade in a little bit, but I mean, I don't know what it is with New York sports at this point. Like,
well, the Yankees are doing well.
Yeah, the Yankees, yeah, but you see what happened. They made business decisions last year. They said it was going to be Teixeira's last season. They didn't want to pay him anymore. They didn't want to pay A-Rod anymore. They got rid of all the old veteran talent to rebuild, and then that's how you get a guy like Aaron Judge. That's how you get a guy like Sanchez. But I feel like it's two completely separate sports.
No, but
like it's not. To me, in basketball,
you need a superstar.
You need a superstar. So you can't trade and rebuild, or else you'll end up like the Hawks or the Bulls
or the Sixers.
I mean, yeah, and even with the Sixers, it's not a promise that they're going to be an elite level team.
Did you? They showed an open practice for the 76ers, and they looked so inept.
Horrible.
It was horrible. But yeah, that's what it is. Basketball is different. Basketball, but the way to build, I still think, superstars have to come from somewhere. They have to come from the draft, and the Knicks are looking for free agents that you're just not gonna find. And cap space means
no one
absolutely
wants to come
nothing.
here. No one wants to play for Dolan.
Let me ask you a question: if we drafted a superstar to play along with Carmelo Anthony and Porzingis, you don't think that hit the cake? You don't think that would have been good? You didn't think this guy we had a chance.
You had
Amari instead of
you had Amari and Carmelo back then. I mean, it kind of hit the cake, but it was just like the Heat would just. They were just better. They reigned supreme in the East. They didn't have the firepower to compete with LeBron and Wade, who arguably were the two best players in the NBA at that point.
And the same thing with Melo moved. He has a better chance of winning the title, but he really doesn't.
Yeah, he has a better. There's
just no way.
You're still gonna hit a butt. We'll get into that in a minute. But I mean, you're still gonna hit that buzz on Golden State. Oh yeah, and somebody showed me an updated 2K today where they have the Cavs is the new number 1 team, and Golden State is number 2 overall.
It shouldn't be. The Cavs made great moves, but they're not.
I don't know, but hopefully the Giants.
We need a win, Big Blue. And regardless of what happens, Big Blue, I don't leave teams because they lose. So Big Blue, I'm with you for life. But the Knicks is something different. They're not trying, and that's what upsets me.
Yeah.
You can make a mistake by not getting the O-line, but the Giants are trying. And don't get me started on Ben McAdoo. You know what I mean? Ben McAdoo. He just the play calling is just ridiculous.
Pat Riley hairstyle got his.
You remember the Lions game when we had a minute? They were a 4th down. They were about to kick the field goal. We had a minute and like 20 seconds left on the clock, and he refused. 3 timeouts left. Refused to use one. Every single Madden player knows to use the timeout there. It's just so bad. 4th down calls are just so bad. They did a toss instead of a sneak. So bad.
Play calling sucks, but I mean,
it is.
I feel
but
like
blame Eli, Ben McAdoo. Blame Eli. You're the only person on that squad would have actually done anything.
That's the risk you run when you bring somebody up from when you bring up a successor instead of bringing somebody in. I feel like there are better guys out there than Ben.
You attacked Eli for clock management when he did something worse.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I hate when people call out their players. I mean, coaches.
Eli's not going to do this, but next time this situation happens, you just need to call a timeout and say, Ben McAdoo, what are you doing? Why didn't you call a timeout? What's wrong with you? I'm the head coach now. Screw you.
I'm the captain now.
But yeah, don't call out your players when it's warranted, and call out every single player. Odell Beckham, they refused to call him out for doing that celebration. He didn't call out Evan Ingram for doing that celebration.
What did Evan Ingram do?
In the Lions game, after he caught a touchdown, he a motion grabbing his crotch. 15-yard penalty. Those matter, guys. Those matter. Yeah. And
it's a game of yards.
I'm not saying Eli is he's exempt from criticism, but he has way more track record than anyone else on that team. So he should be the last one thrown under the bus. 2
Super Bowl MVPs.
No one else on that squad has a Super Bowl. No other starter has a Super Bowl, including the head coach.
Brandon Marshall hasn't even been at the playoffs.
No, but Brandon Marshall hasn't been. He hasn't criticized anyone.
He hasn't had good quarterbacks.
He has one now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Another story this week that pissed me off. NCAA bribing scandal. Basically, FBI has been running a 2-year investigation in NCAA basketball where coaches, assistants, and administrators that are alike have been funneling money to athletes to get them to sign with their schools. Here's why I have a problem with this. Well, a couple reasons. First of all, the player that has been suspended from all NCAA activities. Don't really want to say his name on the show, but he was a top. He's ranked 14th in the nation.
Yeah.
Got $100,000 to sign with Louisville, and has been suspended from all the NCAA activities. So, if he ever gets a chance to play basketball again, he won't. He's gonna take a serious pay cut. He got that $100,000. Rick Pitino didn't even technically get fired. Yeah, he's been placed on leave. And he's still owed $45 million from the school.
He's going to get that.
He's going to get the money.
Regardless of whether he gets fired.
Regardless or not. So this is where I keep saying it's time to pay college athletes. I'm not saying pay every college athlete, which is kind of like the problem with why the NCAA won't do it, because they feel like, well, lacrosse players could get paid, softball players could get paid.
Life's not fair.
That life's not fair, and then they're not bringing in millions of dollars to the schools. So that's reason one I'm getting pissed off about it, because the athlete's life is potentially over. He may go play overseas. He may not. He may make it to the NBA. He may not, but he won't have the stardom that he would have had if he would have played at Louisville for this season. And it sucks because, I mean, what are you supposed to do if a coach offers $100,000 to take care of your family so you can sign with the school? Do you really expect a 17-year-old kid to say, "No, I don't want to take this $100,000"?
You would do what you would expect a grown man to say. No.
I like exactly. If you offer me $100,000, I'll take it now, knowing that it's illegal.
It's not illegal, but it's against NCAA rules.
NCAA
I'm not
rules.
going to jail for it. I still keep that $100,000. Taking it.
What did you think about it, Rob?
This is the thing. I agree 100% with you. College athletes need to be paid. And when I say college athletes, I mean college football athletes, NCAA men, and NCAA women. That's it. NCAA men's basketball and women's basketball.
Right.
I don't care if somebody on the swimming team isn't getting paid.
They're not bringing in TV deals.
They're not bringing in billions of dollars to the school. Literally billions. And that $100,000 that
is a drop in the bucket.
Drop in the bucket.
Drop in the bucket.
And I hear everybody over there, oh, it's not fair to the other students. Why do they get paid and this scholarship athlete doesn't? Well, that's bullshit, Fred. It really is. It really is, and it upsets me. They're just jealous.
Yeah.
They're jealous that these people bring in money. This is a capitalist society, man. And if I'm bringing you in money, I deserve you making money off my skill, my likeness, jersey sales. This is
apparel, book bags,
everything, and
the name, because they. It was just like with the Fab Five. They didn't know Jalen Rose as Jalen Rose from Detroit. They knew Jalen Rose that played for the University of Michigan. They knew Chris Webber that played for the University of Michigan.
Speaking of,
we knew Kyrie Irving that played for Duke.
The Fab Five, which we still talk about today, received zero, compensation from the school, and they're the reason they put Michigan on the map. But no, they're not allowed to get paid. They're not allowed to get a part-time job. They're not student athletes. Let's stop that. They're part-time workers. That's exactly what they are. Full-time workers. I'm sorry.
They're basically professional athletes if we're going to really be
semi-pro. Call it whatever you want.
No, they're professional athletes. I feel like if everyone gets paid except for them, that's the messed up part about it. Everyone gets paid but the athletes.
The kid that's working the stands selling hot dogs gets paid.
Everyone gets paid but the athletes, and they're bringing in the most money. So open up the checkbook. I think it's time to really have that discussion in NCAA. I mean, even
we're having that discussion now, but nobody wants to listen.
I think even if you would say, we'll give you $2,500 a month to take care of what you have to take care of, at least give them that. Dude, because at that point there's no FBI scandal involved. The reason it's even bribery at this point is because they're not allowed to be paid. So now it looks like the only reason they came to your school is to get paid. And here's another thing that I have a problem with. They're saying it gives some schools an unfair advantage because they can offer more than other schools. Dude, it's the same thing now. Like, you think just because if you have an offer from Duke and some Division III school or some Division 1A school I'm gonna pick Duke anyway,
Regardless,
so I might as well
so
get
I
paid
might as well
to do
get
it.
paid to do it.
I might as well get paid to do it.
Yeah, and that's how it is. That's how society works. That's how our society works. The big corporations can offer more to other people. So yeah, I'm gonna work for them maybe instead of a mom and pop shop. It happens, but there are still spots for people to go, to those low end schools. No, they're not gonna compete. Guess what? They don't compete now. They're not as good now. Why do you think? You want to get rid of corruption in college sports? Pay the athletes. That's it. That's all you have to do. But you don't want to because it messes up the integrity of the game. What's the integrity of the game? How does that mess it up? I'm not going to want it more?
The integrity looks terrible now because the FBI is involved.
Is there any integrity in the game now?
There's no integrity. I think, and when I talk to like people that played college sports, it's something everyone knows what happens. Everyone knows that there's bribes. It happens. People, because you feel like you feel used.
And you can't keep saying it's about an education when education comes second to athletics.
No one.
Where you have to pick classes around practice
when
schedules.
Everyone is one and done.
When everyone's one and done, this is just ridiculous.
Lonzo Ball knew he wasn't staying for NCAA past the 1 year eligibility.
Yeah, they don't even go to class in the second semester. Why?
Why? Let's not even play ourselves.
And I know there's people on the other side of the issue. Oh, they it's not fair that they get paid. Who says they're bringing more money to school than other students? Clearly they are.
Life is unfair.
And honestly, unless there's a huge boycott of college sports, when that's the only way they could get in, which sucks, they're never gonna get paid. They're just not, unless it's through this.
I feel like they're professional athletes anyway.
Even without the lingo, I don't think they're professional. I think they're still amateur.
The only thing that makes them amateur is the fact that they don't get paid.
Well, no, semi-pro you get paid for semi-pro, and they're not pro. I think professional is like NFL, NBA is the top level, which college isn't that, but still. And again, how do we pay our athletes? The star QB gets more than the offensive lineman. That's life. That's fine.
I think there's still a link though between NCAA, because the reason a lot of people watch NCAA is to see who's going to be the best rookie in the NBA next year.
Yeah,
there's
but that's not professional. Yeah. Professional still skill level.
Saying, I feel like there's a bridge that connects it.
But regardless, even if it's amateur sports, they should still get paid.
It's like 1 and 1A almost.
Mm-hmm. More like 1 and 2, because a lot of those college athletes aren't making it to the NBA, NFL, or
MLB. You're right. Most aren't. There's top tier, and then there's everybody else.
And again, it'd be nice if they got paid for Alabama. Like Alabama, they win every single year. You never hear from their quarterbacks. What's A.J. McCarron doing right now? Second string, third string.
True.
Pay just pay them dudes. If you want this corruption out, pay them.
Amari Cooper and Julio Jones, but
yeah.
Other than that, who else do you really know? Oh, Mark Ingram,
Trent Richardson.
Is he still playing?
No, he's not.
Oh yeah, because he was on the Rams and then they got Todd Gurley, so it was like
he was jumping from team to team. Pay athletes, guys. If you want this to get out of college sports, if you want corruption to get out, pay athletes, man. It's that simple. Stop being jealous of them.
True. D Wade, my boy B's favorite player.
Hey B, how do you? Oh, wait.
My boy B's favorite player, D Wade, reached the buy with the Bulls. Decided he's going to sign with the Cavs this season. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. On paper, the Cavs look like a problem. Like they look on paper, like regardless of outside of everything else besides the injuries and everything, they look like a problem. But how much of a chance do you give them to beat Golden State with this roster? Like if you had to put it in percentages,
20. They're not beating Golden State. They're just not. Golden State is still better all around. We're acting like, the Cavs did good. They got more depth that they did not have last year.
Do you think they're better than they were last year?
Yes. Now I do. Now I do. They got more depth. That's what they needed. Isaiah Thomas isn't bad. Do I think they'd be better right now with Kyrie? Yeah. But better than last year? Yeah, for sure. And that's all you need. But you still don't got a shot against Golden State. Golden State is still has depth. You were acting like Golden State didn't have depth, that all they had was starters. They still have depth. They still have Andre Iguodala waiting in the wings, and I probably
Nick Young
can't. Yeah,
and Sean Livingston, just glue guys first of all.
exactly, and that's all you need. Their starting lineup is the best starting lineup in
Yeah, their
in the
starting
whole
lineup
sports.
is definitely the best. You know what I think it is
Mhm.
with them. The Cavs look good on paper, but you don't
play on paper.
incorporate all the side stories like
Is LeBron leaving?
not even that, but it's like how is Isaiah Thomas going to really be 100% this year?
There you go.
Is D Wade going to be able to play the entire
Derrick
year?
Rose
Is Derrick
gonna be
Rose
able-
going to be able to play the entire year? And then it's like when I feel like you won't be able to tell what's going to really happen until Christmas Day when they play each other. But I feel like you're gonna have to sacrifice something because if you put Isaiah Thomas on Steph Curry, it's gonna be he's gonna have a field day all day. So then that means you're gonna have to either put D Rose or D Wade on him, and then you're gonna have someone else is gonna go off.
Yeah.
That's just how
KD's still there. He's gonna
KD.
go.
I'm saying then you still got the second best player in the world, the third best player in the world probably. Draymond Green's a defensive force. Even though I think Jay Crowder might give him problems, but I don't.
Jay Crowder's gonna defend
KD.
KD. Is
No,
he?
I think he might have to defend Steph, but then
That's
it's
what I'm
like
saying. Who's gonna hold KD? LeBron couldn't.
I mean that's their best option though.
Yeah, but that's how it is. And you're not gonna hold all of them at once. No way. And I
just
still
feel like
think
they're-
if they hold LeBron down, which they can, no,
Yeah.
who's gonna really pull
Yeah.
forward?
I mean LeBron averaged a triple double last year, so it's not like people like saying he averaged a triple double, so he's the only person doing
It's
anything.
10,
But
10,
it's like
and 10. That
that's
doesn't mean
10
anything.
assists right there,
Mhm.
and then Kyrie balled out.
Kyrie was averaging 40 in the playoffs.
So I mean, and then the other thing is, you have to look at when I look at like additions to teams and like trades of teams. It's like, what did you gain? Like with OKC, I look at the OKC and Melo trade. It's like, okay, well they have another 3-point shooter now,
Mhm.
which they didn't have before. What did you really gain with D Wade that you didn't have before, other than depth?
Yeah,
It's like
depth matters,
You
though.
can't. It matters to some degree, but
All trades, you can't really focus on what you gave up. You have to focus on
What you
gained.
Right.
And that's the thing. If you're willing to give up more talent, but the talent you get in return gels better, always do it. Always do it. Don't be afraid. Don't try to beat somebody over the head. Really, is what I'm saying. This gets into fantasy right here. But yeah, that's it's the same thing in real life sports. If you what did that trade do for the Knicks? It didn't do anything. And what did the
It made them worse.
Yeah, for sure. And what did it do for OKC? It made them better. I think it made them better.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the Melo OKC trade, I think first of all, the Knicks gave him up for nothing. And I feel like to me the trade was like I feel like it was a parting shot of how they
Yeah.
really felt about him. Like this is what you're worth to us. I felt like it was a parting shot and like to be petty because there's no way. Carmelo Anthony to me is still at least a top 20 player.
Yeah.
Probably top 15 if you really think about it
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what his ability is. I mean, I know he's inconsistent on defense, but he's still a guy that can shoot threes, play in the triple threat position, get to the hole, rebound. He can pass to some degree. He's still an effective guy that can average 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you don't give up a guy who can average 20 for
Nick
Enes
Buckets
Kanter and draft picks. For 2 Happy Meals and a tropical fantasy fruit punch, as I said. So I didn't understand it, but I mean, it's okay. Hats off to Sam Presti, first of all. I mean, OKC, other than their first season of existence, they've always managed to keep talent around them. Like, even when they lost Kevin Durant.
They lost Kevin Durant and James Harden.
I mean, but I'm saying
They don't keep talent.
even in losses, they have managed to keep talent around them. Because even when you had James Harden, you have Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Even when you lost Harden, when you lost Kevin Durant, you got Oladipo for next to nothing. Even though you gave up Ibaka.
In the West,
Mhm.
who's better than OKC right now? How many teams do you think is better than OKC?
I think it's only one. I think the Rock. I don't think the Rockets are better than OKC.
I think the Rockets and the Spurs are still better. So you jump from 6th to 4th, which is fine.
I think
good.
The Spurs, from a talent perspective, I don't think they're better than the Spurs, talent wise only. As a team,
it doesn't matter. You know how Greg Popovich works. The Heat were more talented than the Spurs, and they should have lost twice, not just once.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter from a talent standpoint with Greg Popovich, but I don't know. I feel like if I had to rank teams in the West just based on like how many wins they're gonna get, I would say it's probably Golden State, the Spurs, and then the Thunder. Because I feel like that whole Rocket situation, I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Neither. But do you know how the OKC situation is gonna work?
That's true too, but when it comes to how you don't know how it's gonna work, then you have no choice but to look at
guess.
Then guess based off the talent, and then you have 3 guys that can score when you need them to. So for now,
that don't like to share the ball.
Yeah, true. And that's another. I don't think it's gonna work, and when it comes to the playoffs, like I think in the playoffs you can't play selfish basketball. Like the Spurs showed us that you can when you play unselfish basketball, the talent doesn't matter. No. That's how they beat the Heat. That's how they almost beat them in the first time.
And when we say talent, doesn't mean Spurs aren't talented. We're just saying even Kawhi Leonard, I don't have him as a top-tier superstar like that.
Right. He's just effective.
He's effective, yeah.
He's effective, and he can play defense, and that's all you really need. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
As you can see, he's a champion, so I don't want to take that away from him.
Shout-outs to Sam Presti, though, because – they got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony in one offseason for virtually
You robbed
nothing.
The little kid.
For virtually nothing.
You should feel bad about yourselves.
Gotta talk about baseball.
Yes, the best sport.
America's favorite pastime. Judge.
Yeah, my guy. 52 home runs. He just hit another one today.
484 feet. Who is your AL and NL MVP?
The topic only had us doing those. I want to do the whole awards, if that's all right. Just the major ones.
Yeah.
So I'll answer your question, the AL and NL MVP. NL's easy. NL's Giancarlo Stanton. That's it. Case closed. It's him. Shouldn't be anybody else. I don't care that they didn't make the playoffs. He's about to hit 60 home runs. Stop it. It's him. AL's different. AL.
Has he won MVP before?
Stanton, no.
Good for him.
Yeah, of course. I like Giancarlo Stanton.
I hope he leaves.
Come to the Yankees. Come to the Yankees.
Not even the Yankees. He just deserves to be in the playoffs.
Go to the Nationals. And they're not making it this year, so.
No, they're not.
Now, AL's different. It was Judge until about the All-Star break. And then he went on a huge slump for about 2 months.
Then it became Altuve.
And then Altuve came up there. But now, looking at their stats and all things, the only thing Altuve leads Judge in, steals too, but it's batting average. That's it. Judge leads in everything else, including the stat I value more than batting average, on base percentage. Mm-hmm. Because batting average just counts how many times you hit the ball. On base percentage is how many times you reach the base. And Judge is second only to Mike Trout, and Mike Trout hasn't been here for a month, so Mike Trout has to leave the conversation.
Yeah.
Judge has 10 more home runs than the second place AL guy, Chris Davis from the Athletics. He has 10 more home runs. He's first in runs scored, and second in RBIs only to another guy I had on my fantasy team. I forgot. It's not Chris Davis. It's Nelson Cruz. So Judge got to win MVP, guys, and he's been on a tear for the past 2 weeks.
How many rookie MVPs have there been?
I don't know.
I think it was Stanton was close.
He was close. Ichiro was close.
Ichiro was close too. I think his rookie season is gonna rank up there. Like
yeah,
50.
He's AL Rookie of the Year, hands down. That's now
not
we're
even,
just.
That's not even. It's about is he gonna win MVP
or not? And he should. And it doesn't matter how far the Yankees go in the playoffs. It shouldn't matter. But
we know they're gonna weigh that.
They're gonna try to weigh that, yeah. Even though they didn't let it matter for the OKC thing, where clearly Harden outplayed Russell Westbrook, but that's another day.
I tried to tell you.
I told you how I felt. I heard I hear the
I
case for
told you
Russell
that.
Westbrook.
I think it did weigh into that because then when they got
It
to
did.
the play,
He
when they
sucked.
got to the playoffs, you see how much OKC really needed Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, but I mean, without Harden, Rockets wouldn't have been good either.
I think they still make 7th seed without Harden.
8th, 9th. We didn't even. People said they weren't even going to make the playoffs with Harden at the beginning of that year. I mean, that's another day. Baseball. Yeah. So I got Aaron Judge as MVP and AL Rookie of the Year, and I have Giancarlo Stanton as NL MVP and Cody Bellinger as NL Rookie of the Year.
I have Chris Sale as my
Cy Young?
Cy Young.
I have Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber was out for about a month and leads Chris Sale in wins, strikeouts, ERA. He leads Chris Sale in almost everything.
And
So
then
I got
my
Kluber.
my NL regular season MVP for only the regular season always.
Clayton Kershaw, the Cy Young.
I was
I
gonna
got
pick
Max
Scherzer.
Scherzer,
I was
yeah.
gonna pick Scherzer too, but I think
Kershaw was
Kershaw
out
is-
for like a month.
Kershaw is out for like a month, but he still
leads in strikeouts.
Still
So
leads in, he's dealing, man.
yeah,
I hope he can finally get the monkey off his back.
hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, they made the ALCS last year. I don't think they're gonna make the World Series. Maybe not.
I mean, you never know. They're stacked, like I said.
Yeah, they're stacked.
They
Just
still
like
have Kemp. Matt Kemp.
Yeah,
They got Matt Kemp.
but he's not.
Bellinger.
It's Bellinger, Seager,
Seager.
Um,
They're stacked. They got
Chris Taylor. They have a bunch of guys.
What other awards?
Coach, manager of the year. I like for the AL.
Francona.
See, I don't even think so. I like the Twins guy because he went from 100 losses last year to the playoffs. But I like Joe Girardi, man. I feel like Joe Girardi's being underrated in this whole thing. The Yankees weren't supposed to contend until
Remember when people were
2019.
talking about- Remember in the beginning of the season we were talking about is his job on the line?
See, yeah, which I completely thought it shouldn't have been. But yeah, that's what it is. And I like Joe Girardi a lot. NL, I like this guy from the Rockies or the
I like Joe Madden.
see, I like him, but the Cubs were supposed to do this.
He's still winning.
That's true.
Still
I
winning.
originally had the Brewers guy, but they're not gonna make the playoffs, so he's out.
Who you have as your Gold Glove?
The bunch of Gold Gloves. Are we gonna go through every position?
No.
Let's not do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll let the if I had a vote, I'd vote.
Who would you vote?
I'd
All right,
definitely vote Aaron Judge for
I'm
right
about
field.
to say right field. I'm booing Aaron
There was
Judge.
a point during the slump that people were like, just bench him. It's like
and then
we can't bench him. He's great on the field.
and then I have Rajay Davis for center field.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good one. They do AL and NL too. They split it up, right?
But yeah, I can't do all of them right now. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
that's
have
too much. We're gonna have to go through
split it
9
up on
positions.
paper. And then what's your World Series picks?
This is tough, guys. This is tough.
Are you picking Yankees?
No.
Mm.
I want to so bad, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm going with the Indians. The Indians have just been on fire right now, and if the Yankees have to play them, it's gonna suck.
All right, let's do who's your matchup for ALCS first of all?
ALCS, Indians and Astros.
Wow, you don't have Yankees making it past the divisional?
If they don't play the Indians, it's Yankees Indians.
I think they can beat the Indians.
But they play the Indian. Most likely, they're gonna play the divisions, the Indians in the ALDS.
yeah, because they're gonna get out the wild card first of all.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna beat the Twins.
I think they can beat the Indians.
If
'Cause
they
you
even
think-
make the wild card, because look at this. We're 2 games back with 2 games to play. We're winning right now. The Red Sox have to play the Astros. If we win both games and the Astros win both games, we have to have a playoff on Monday to see who wins the division, which is a nightmare scenario. We have to play all the time, but
True. That'd be cool though. I think I don't know. I think the Yankees could beat the Indians. 'Cause
I
feel
think
like
they can too. But
you only have to play Kluber once first of all.
well, you got Kluber, then you got Carrasco.
Well, not that he doesn't scare me as much as Kluber.
Nobody scares me as much as Kluber, but they still have squads. They still have
They can
and you know Kluber's gonna pitch twice, so
I was saying if you catch him the second day, you might catch him on an off night.
you could, but they could also catch us, Severino, and
No, Severino's
Sonny
on
Gray.
fire. Severino is
more than Kluber though.
1-1.
Well,
Another
well,
1-1
well,
B
they're
situation.
not gonna match up against each other because if we play them in the ALDS, Severino would pitch the wild card game, and then Severino would pitch
So you
game
said-
like 3 or
So
4,
you say
which means we only have Severino once.
True. So you have Astros and Indians for the AL
CS.
CS.
Yeah,
And
because
then-
I don't think the Red Sox could beat the Astros.
and-
Clearly.
and then- right. and then
Clearly.
I had all right. My ALCS would actually be Yankees and Astros.
So you got the Yankees beating the Indians.
But the Astros scare me because I forget what's the guy
Dallas Keuchel.
with the beard, right?
Yeah.
He's like kind of like Kluber status in terms of like guys I feel.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's a good pitcher, but
But they don't have anybody else really.
yeah, that's why
It's
I
just
think
him.
I believe the Yankees can beat the Indians, and here's why. Did you see Tanaka yesterday?
Oh yeah, he was good.
Tanaka's picking it up at like the perfect time, and I feel like if you have to face Severino,
Sonny Gray,
Sonny Gray,
Tanaka.
and Tanaka, come on, man.
And CC is in a bad fourth.
CC is in the bad fourth. Then you have Betances. Oh, is he closer now?
Yeah, no.
He's still
they
a-
gave it back to Chapman. Chapman's doing well.
Okay, so
But here's the nightmare scenario I was talking to you about. We tie with the Red Sox. We have to play them on Monday for a division breaking tie. If we lose that game,
gotta play the next day.
we have to play the next game at the Twins, and we would already have used up both Severino and Sonny Gray against the Indians.
Mm.
If we win that game, great. We play
So
the
maybe you should
Astros,
just-
and I think we could beat the Astros. All we did was waste Severino once, and then we got Sonny Gray, and then Severino we could probably fit him in game 3 or 4. But that's a nightmare scenario.
And then
If we lose, it's a nightmare scenario. If we win, it's better. But
so who you have for NLCS?
I think the Dodgers come back, and the Cubs too. The Cubs.
You have my exact matchup.
The
But
Cubs too.
I think the Dodgers get it done though. So I've
You got the Dodgers winning this time.
I have Dodgers Yankees in the World Series.
I hate that. Oh, that would be a great World Series. That would be a great World Series. I would have definitely. I might just show up and watch that game. You know what I mean?
I got Dodgers Yankees in the World Series, and I think it'd be a great pitching matchup if you have Kershaw and Sonny Gray, Severino and what's this guy's name?
Well, it would be Severino and Kershaw.
It's
Severino's the top guy right now.
yeah. Severino and Kershaw. Severino's a beast.
Alex Wood, they got a squad. They got a nice pitching rotation.
I was saying it'd be 2 great pitching rotations. I think
Ours is okay.
what was wrong? What was wrong with us in the beginning of the year was pitching. When we went on that slump where we lost like 8 in a row, it was the pitching sucked. But now the pitching
the
is.
same pitchers we got now. Well,
But
not
I'm saying
Sonny Gray, but
they're picking it up though. I'm saying
true.
I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting postseason.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I don't think it's
fun.
gonna be better than last year's.
If the wild card game happens, I'm gonna go to the wild card game and watch it. Matter of fact, if we play against the Red Sox in a tie-breaking game, I think we won the season series, which means it's played here. So if that happens, get ready to. We're there Monday, Fred. You down? We're gonna be there. Triple Threat Podcast in Yankee Stadium.
Triple Threat Live Part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's gonna be a fun week of baseball.
Yeah, it is. Last topic. I gotta get your comments on 45.
My guy. He's all right. Everything he criticized President Obama about.
He does
He does. He spends so much money on travel
to play golf.
Yeah, he completely like I understand like you do business meetings in golf and stuff like that. You could talk to other world's leaders, but why do you assume President Trump is doing that and you didn't assume President Obama was doing that? Which clearly President Obama, President Trump is completely on pace to blow out President Obama's first-term travel budget.
I want to know. Vegas should make a line to see for people to place bets on how long his presidency actually lasts.
The best odds should be 4 years.
Huh?
The best odds should be 4 years.
I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna get impeached, and I definitely know he's not winning a second election.
I know he's not gonna win a second election, but I don't think his. At this rate, you really think he's gonna make it all 4 years without resigning?
Well, him resigning himself, yeah, for sure. Look, the thing he said about the NFL athletes is absurd. The late response to Puerto Rico, again, absurd.
Did you hear what he said about the mayor of Puerto Rico?
Yeah, President Twitterfingers is completely sensitive, and whenever he gets criticized, he wants to attack, and he doesn't
Fake
understand.
news.
He doesn't.
News.
He
all
doesn't
fake news.
understand that he needs a fire lit under him, and that you need to actually do something. He hasn't done anything as a president yet. He hasn't. We have new jobs. We've been building new jobs for years.
Even before Obama.
Even after the recession, it got
Yeah.
bad, but then we came back up. You have to wait until midterm elections to assume that he ever did jobs. And everything they criticized about President Obama, oh, those are just short-term jobs. Those are the jobs that are being made now. Ain't no long-term jobs being made. He can't pass a repeal on healthcare despite the fact that his party controls both the House and Senate and presidency, all three. He can't. He's trying to build a wall that it's just going to be a huge waste of money because let's be honest, people use underground tunnels, and if there was a wall, they'll just climb over it and jump down with ropes, which would boom the rope and ladder industry. So maybe it helps them out. The tax plan looks horrendous, and it doesn't look like it's going to be passed. Come on, dude. You have to focus on bettering this nation, and what you're focusing on is attacking people you don't agree with, and that doesn't make sense. You're the president, for God's sakes.
And
Do your job.
And stop worrying about the national anthem. Like, I understand. Here's my thing, right?
No, I don't understand. Why are you worrying about the national anthem?
No,
you have bigger fish to fry.
I don't understand that.
You could disagree with people all you want, but who cares?
I don't understand why the president is worried about that. I kind of like. Yeah, you're right. I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it at all.
I don't
Dude,
understand.
I stand for the national anthem, right?
Right.
Regardless of what it is, because I think the country's bigger than that. That if I was the president, in my opinion, I wouldn't even I wouldn't care about that. I'd be like, look, we're trying to do this. They have their own free. I may disagree with them, but they have their freedom of speech. Let them do what they want to do. I got to focus on this right now. This is bigger. Helping out American citizens in Puerto Rico who are Americans is bigger.
Puerto Rico has no power. Flint has no clean water. You're worried about the national anthem.
I don't understand. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. And I know you want to keep your base. And I know you're struggling because you see it. You see the writing on the wall that without them, you're not winning the election next year. I mean, in 2020.
I don't even think he should run.
Of course he's going to run. Why wouldn't he?
He won't make it past the primary.
Well, he doesn't have to. He's automatically the presidential bid. There's no primary for him.
He should. They should make a primary just for him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you truly want, I don't think you need to win over your fan base. I think you already have them. I think you need to win over some of the other. You're not going to win over everybody. People just hate you just to hate you. But what you need to do is try to win over those same people in the Rust Belt who you're losing right now, who you needed to win. Win over them by showing them that you're a business president, that you're into. You can still be Twitterfingers. You can still tweet to your fan base, but focus on issues that you can fix. You can. I'll give you this. Waiving the Jones Act, perfect. That was a good job by you, Mr. President. That was huge. But continue. Keep going on that train. Forget about the national anthem. Forget about the NFL. Yeah, first of all, the NFL ratings are up this year compared to last year. But nobody's touching them. Nobody's not going to stop watching the NFL. And that shouldn't be your issue. Your issue should be, how can we get Puerto Ricans better aid right now? And to say that they want help, they do want help, but to say they want everybody to do everything else for them is not only insulting, it's wrong. And what you need to do is forget about the NFL right now and focus on that. If it was a slow news day and everything was fixed and every problem was fixed, yeah, sure. Talk about the NFL. Talk about how you think people should stand for the anthem. Sure. But until everything's perfect, just leave it alone. How is the
leader of the free world even having time to tweet right now?
Well, you always have your phone with you, so you always...
Still, shouldn't be tweeting.
Tweeting to your fan base, I think, is different, where you're tweeting and you want them to let them know about policy issues or whatever, and what you think is different. I'm not mad at him for doing that.
He's just crying, though.
But
everything he says, he's just crying.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that he's using Twitter to attack people and news organizations where
sounds like a big baby.
yeah,
Fake news. It's fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news. CNN. Fake news. MSNBC. Fake news.
Everything but Fox News and Breitbart. Those are
everything but Fox News is fake news, and they're the real fake news.
well. I don't want to disparage Fox News. Fox News
I do.
is a real news organization, and
It
if you
is.
get they're
Have
honestly,
you watched
we
Hannity's
need
show?
them.
Have you watched?
That's not news though. And Fox News admits that that's not news. They tell you what their news hours are. Fox News is the only real news that most conservatives get. That's why we need Fox News out there. And I don't want the same way that most hardcore liberals only listen to MSNBC. We need MSNBC, but they're on the same political spectrum. That one's way too left and one's way
That's
too
why
right.
I watch CNN.
That's
so
why I
can
don't want to
get-
attack. Like as us as a news organization, we're kind of biased against it. That's why I don't want to attack Fox News. And you can attack personalities, but like Sean Hannity and all them, and they have their own opinions. But Fox News
Tommy
tells you.
Lauren.
Well, she got fired from her job.
But guess who picked her up? Fox News.
They did.
And then now they have Britt McHenry, another fired person.
But that's the thing. That's why
Diet
I
Tommy
personally
Lauren.
don't want to attack Fox News because Fox News they let you know. Look, we have our political commentary hours and we have our news hours, so they let us know the difference. So I'm not mad at Fox News, but and Fox News has done a good job delivering stuff. Whenever the president has done something wrong, their news hours they tell us that the president misstepped and all that stuff. So I'm not mad at Fox News, but yeah, I don't want to be the same as the president saying something's fake. Don't listen to this. Don't listen to that. When we need different viewpoints from every single news organization, and when the president says don't listen to the fake news media, that is damaging.
I agree with you when you say you need different news points, but can they at least be educated? Like I hear a lot of ignorance on Fox News is what I'm saying.
No, I agree, but that can also be said to MSNBC, where I hear a lot of stuff that I don't like, where it's completely wrong. I agree. And Megyn Kelly is a huge example, and I don't want to attack Megyn Kelly, who switched completely from the right to the left. She's completely switched from
alt right, alt left.
She completely switched from Fox News to MSNBC.
The alt right, alt left side. They was wrong on both sides. Oh,
but
man.
yeah, we have to, and I don't like how he's quick to clap back at the Puerto Rican mayor, the San Juan mayor.
No, but she only
But
did that because she was on MSNBC, and he doesn't like MSNBC.
But then why? But you're not quick to attack the Nazis that were marching.
Yeah, that's what. But
You're
I
quick
know
to attack the
it's
NFL
not
players.
It's
but
not
the
justified
Nazis.
at all. It's not justified.
It's
at all.
not, and to say
I'm just saying the reason why. Because if she would have been on Fox News, he probably wouldn't. What are you gonna say?
Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. I like you. I do. I'm gonna be honest. You entertained me on the Celebrity Apprentice. I loved it. I liked you when you showed up for WrestleMania. It was awesome, dude. And I know in your heart of hearts, and I truly believe this in your heart of hearts, you want to do the right thing, and you don't like to be attacked. I understand that. But at this time, you're the president, dude. You're the president, and you have to do the right thing. And honestly, I think you will. And I'm asking you to do that. I'm not attacking you at all. I want that to be perfectly known that I'm not attacking you, because attacking you goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. It stops you from. It makes you want to attack me back, or any, and that takes us nowhere. So I want to be able for you to work with Puerto Rico, for you to work with the government to make things better. I have my complete trust that things will go right. I do, but you need to take the step. You're the most powerful person on the planet. It's time. Let's do it.
All right.
That's it.
Rob picks column this week.
Next week, I'll be in London. So when I come back from London, I'll be.
Rob is going to join us live from the London Eye.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to see it. I do want to say something real quick. Us attacking the president's policies is not attacking conservatives. It's not. We like conservatives. We want you guys to like us. I just wanted to put a little disclaimer there.
I don't like conservatives.
No, that he's lying. He's lying. So yeah, that's but yeah, London picks column. I am what is it? There was 63 games. I'm 62-1.
Rob is gonna go to the London game this week at 9:30 a.m.
Right, the Saints Dolphins.
That two people watch.
NFL, the NBA wishes it had NFL ratings. Let's be honest, Fred.
I'm not getting up at 9:30 to watch a football game.
Millions of Americans will.
God
Oh,
bless.
that's another thing. You guys are kneeling for our anthem, but you standing for theirs. Come on. Don't do that. Kneel for both. Show. Stand for both. Do whatever.
I don't know. Do what your heart feels.
I don't think kneeling's disrespectful though.
I don't.
Like
first of all,
if I
Kaepernick-
knelt before you,
You-
Fred, would you think I was disrespecting you? You know what I mean?
But do you know what the whole irony of everything is?
What?
Kaepernick met with a former NFL player who was in the military to see how he could protest the injustices and still be respectful, and that was the medium that they came to. That
Yeah, I have to listen.
he because remember the first game he just sat on a bench.
The first two preseason.
The first two preseason, he just sat on the bench.
Yeah.
Then people said, well, it's disrespectful for you to sit during the national anthem.
It is.
So he met with the military sergeant and said, well, how can I protest racial injustice and still be respectful to the flag? And he said, well, just kneel. So then it's kind of like a medium.
Yeah.
So it's literally not disrespectful to kneel. It's
I don't think so.
it's literally respectful. That's what they came up with. So
But we'll see. But that's what I'm talking about. Colin Kaepernick, he was willing to listen, and we have to do the same. We have to be able to willing to listen. And it's on both sides. Both sides want to boycott the NFL. So we'll see. Just be able to listen. I want people to stand for the anthem. I do, but
make
we
them
have
stand.
the only way to make them stand is to actually listen and make them want to stand. And they're not against this country. If they were, they would have left. They want to make this country better, and I want to make this country better. So I stand with Kaepernick, and I stand with my kneeling brothers and sisters.
Cool beans. That's all the time we got for today. NBA preview show coming soon.
No, boo,
Oh, preseason basketball starts tonight.
boo.
Football's
I
tomorrow.
bet you nobody watches, Fred.
I am.
I bet you the rating would be .00001. That's just you. Yay.
As long as it's on.
Let's
I'll
ask the
watch.
fan if he enjoys it. Yay.
Double threat. B back next week, and B's back next week. We out.